and in this video we're going to have some extra math fun because we get to deal with fractions. Now somebody might be saying, well, I don't even know what the problem is because I don't see the numbers. Well, that's for you to figure out. And the idea here is to look at what's going on. Obviously we have graphical representations. This is a effectively a model, right? And these are, we're looking at things. If you recall learning about fractions way back when you were in, I don't know, second, third grade, you were kind of like, faced with little graphical models like this, and you had to figure out, okay, what's going on here? Now, let's just think about what a fraction is. Okay, well, fraction more or less is a part, okay, out of a whole, right? So, like here, for example, we have, let's say, a pizza, and it's sliced up in 4 slices right here, right? So this yellow shaded part of this pizza represents what? Well, represents what? Well, 1 slice out of 4 total. Okay, so this is 1 out of 4. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I was looking at the white sectors, and maybe you could say this is like 3 out of 4, but yeah, I think that's kind of less intuitive. This type of problem, by the way, is fairly common, in more basic mathematics. So hopefully you understood what to do. But let's go ahead and look at each one of these figures and actually assign an actual fraction to it. So here, this would be 1 out of 4. So this represents the fraction 1/4. And here, what do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded yellow boxes out of how many? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So we have 4 out of 16 boxes shaded. All right, so that would represent the fraction 4/16. And then here we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10 total boxes, and 2 are shaded. So that's 2 out of 10, right? Or 2/10. So effectively, this is the problem. We have 1/4 plus 4/16 divided by 2/10. So if you figure this part out, that's actually very good. And if you didn't get the answer right, but you actually had the correct fractions, well, that could be a bit alarming, as it tells me that you need to brush up on your fraction skills. By the way, if you need help with basic math, definitely check out my Math Foundations course. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. It's just a 3-chapter mini course. It's kind of like a boot camp for basic math review, okay, to include fractions, decimals, all that kind of good stuff that you learned way back in elementary and middle school and probably forgot. But let's go ahead and continue on with the problem. So here, the actual problem is going to be 1/4 plus 4/16 divided by 2/10, right? So here we have the operation, the addition operation, and here is division. So effectively, this is the problem. 1/4 plus 4/16 divided by 2/10. Now, when you look at a fraction problem or any problem in mathematics, before you start doing anything, you want to get the problem in its simplest format. All right, so is this current problem in its simplest format? Well, no. Okay, don't even start anything until you simplify each one of these fractions. So let's kind of go through this one by one. So 1/4 is what? Well, that is fully reduced or simplified, so we'll keep that 1/4 plus 4/16. However, we can definitely reduce that fraction to 1/4. Now, I'll quickly review how to reduce a fraction here in a second, or simplify it. And then we have divided by 2/10, and 2/10 we can simplify to 1/5. So you don't want to just start a problem, without looking at each the fractions or numbers, or even, let's say, in algebraic expressions. You want to simplify everything first. That's why in mathematics, you'll see this problem often is simplify. Okay, simplify. Here, I'm just my scribble scratch here. Simplify the following. Simplify this. Simplify that. Because it just makes your life much, much easier. You want to make things as simple as possible and then do the work. Okay, so this is what we're facing right here. We have 1/4 plus 1/4 divided by 1/5. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next step. Well, the next step is we have to make a decision whether we're going to do addition first, whether we're going to start the problem this way, 1/4 plus 1/4, and then divide by 1/5, or we're going to go 1/4 divided by 1/5, and then we'll add in that 1/4, right? So this is a huge area of confusion for a lot of students. This is what we call the order of operations. Now, what is a mathematical operation? Well, effectively, it's adding, subtracting, division, multiplication, powers. This is a whole topic in and of itself. So this little saying right here, PEMDAS, and there's a little phrase that goes with it, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, is kind of like our set of directions, okay, our guidance on what to do first. Okay, now I'm not going to turn this into a full order of operations video. But if you don't understand this, that's what I would call a math 911 emergency. Okay, this is critical. But effectively, the P is parentheses. Do we see any parentheses here? No. Okay, in other words, we don't see anything like this. So we can kind of ignore that. E stands for exponents or powers. Do we see anything like 2 to the third power? Nope. Now, the M and D is, we're going to take that as one group. Now we're looking for multiplication and division. Do we see any multiplication and division? Yes, right there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do first. And after we handle all multiplication and division from left to right, we'll go into addition and subtraction. So if you had these fractions correct, but you actually did this right here, that tells me you need to review the order of operations. No big deal. Matter of fact, if you made these errors, I'm glad that you did, because this video is going to give you an opportunity to kind of clarify confusion that you may have, right? That's when you do math, let me just say this real fast. When you're doing math and you get the wrong answer, you have to write out your steps, because it could just, the difference between you getting the wrong answer and right answer could be just this one little area of confusion, okay? That's why it's so critical to write out each step and pay attention. All right, so this is the problem that we're going to do. Of course, we're going to do the division first because of PEMDAS. So let's go ahead and take the next step. All right, so we got 1/4 plus 1/4 divided by 1/5. We got to figure this out right here. So let's go and focus on 1/4 divided by 1/5. What does this equal to? Well, of course, you need to know something about fraction operations. So 1/4 divided by 1/5, we don't really divide fractions per se. What we do is change the division problems into multiplication. And the way we do that is we look at the fraction to the right of the division sign. Okay, so here's the division symbol, and the fraction to the right of it is 1/5. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip that fraction upside down. Okay, when you flip 1/5 upside down, you get 5/1. That's called the reciprocal. You don't need to remember that, but just know that the fraction to the right of the division symbol, you're going to flip upside down, and then that division symbol is going to become multiplication. So the equivalent problem, okay, let me kind of erase all this right here now, is the following. Okay, 1/4 divided by 1/5 is equal to 1/4 times 5/1. So now we're going to go ahead and do this problem right here, which of course is going to be the answer to this. All right, so 1/4 divided by 5/1, what does that equal to? Well, this is super simple. When we're multiplying fractions, all we need to do is multiply the respective numerators and denominators. So 1 times 5 is, of course, 5, and 4 times 1, of course, is 4. All right, so what we have now is 5/4. All right, so now where are we at? Well, we got to figure out, keep track of what we're doing here. So we just figured out 1/4 divided by 1/5, and that is 5/4. So now our problem is down to 1/4 plus 5/4. Okay, so now we're moving from division to addition of fractions. And this is where a lot of students kind of panic. They're like, oh, I got to add fractions. I don't want to do that. Now, why are they saying that? Because they're, a lot of people associate nightmares with fractions because they got to figure out what the LCD is, the lowest common denominator. Well, this particular problem, we don't have to deal with this, all right? And why? Well, because we can add fractions if the fractions, we can actually add or subtract fractions if they have the same denominator. Okay, so here in this particular case, we have the same denominator, 4 and 4, so we don't have to deal with finding the lowest common denominator. Of course, you're going to need to know how to do that. So when you have fractions that have the same denominator, you want to add them up, all we're going to do is keep that one denominator, which of course is 4, and then add the respective numerators, the top numbers. So that's going to be 1 plus 5 over 4. So 1 plus 5 is 6 over 4. And here is basically the final answer. Now, if you got this answer, I would still give you a nice happy face. However, you are not done, okay? Because we always want to simplify your results. And this is an example of simplifying or reducing a fraction. So 6 over 4, what we want to do is look at the factors of 6 and 4, okay, i.e. Numbers that when we multiply them together, we get back to this number. So 6 is the same thing as 2 times 3, and 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2. What we're trying to do is identify common factors. Okay, so you can see here, we have a 2 up here and a 2 down here. Although we have two 2's down in the denominator, you can already cross-cancel one factor for one factor. Okay, so what we're trying to do is cross-cancel like factors. In other words, we have a 2 here, 2 here. These can go away, and we're left with what? Well, we're left with the answer, 3 halves. Okay, so that is the answer. And I'm going to suggest to you that you leave your answer as what we call an improper fraction, where the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay, so something like 1/4 is a proper fraction because the denominator is larger than the numerator. But if you chose to change this into a mixed number fraction, you can do that by dividing 3 by 2. Okay, so you just do old school division here. So you can see this work and we get 1 and 1/2. Now, of course, I'm going to fully explain all this in my math courses, but here's one little tip. Okay, unless your teacher asks you or tells you, hey, write your final answer as a mixed number fraction, don't just volunteer. Just make sure your answer is fully simplified. Don't go here and do this, okay? That's not good, especially on test or quizzes for two reasons. One, it's going to cost you extra time. And two, I have seen so many, I've been teaching math for decades, thousands of problems where students will have the right answer here, okay, as an improper fraction. Then they go change that into a mixed number fraction, and then they make a mistake here, and then they turn that in. And then when I say they have it wrong, they usually have a look like this. They're just so upset. I'm like, hey, you got to listen, okay? Don't volunteer to take that step unless you are told to do so. Now, of course, you need to know how to do that, and sometimes you'll need to be able to write your final answers as mixed number fractions, but just don't volunteer to do so. Make sure, however, that you fully simplify, reduce all your fractions. Okay, so let's go and wrap this up. Again, the whole point to my videos is to try to inspire you to improve and learn mathematics. I don't care if you failed math or you hate math, if you don't think you're good at math. Those are all, really, that's not the truth, okay? Everyone out there watching this video can be highly successful in mathematics, but you have to commit yourself to it, all right? It's like anything else. It takes time, it takes commitment, and you're just going to have laser beam focus on learning one skill at a time. Just don't try to learn all of math all at once because you're just going to get frustrated. So if I can help you out with that, that is the whole point behind my videos. And if this video again helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.